You know, some of the most impactful things is when somebody takes the time to help somebody else. And it usually doesn't take much time to help somebody else, but it will change somebody's life when you do it.
Let's share some stories.
Welcome to the Called to Love podcast, a show dedicated to exploring how human relationships and intimacy with God are connected. Join us as we discuss hard-hitting topics that inspire and motivate you to go deeper into the intricacies of building meaningful relationships. Here now are your hosts, James Levisee and Brian Knoedl.
Brian, I think if we just took the time to help somebody else and made that a habit that we did every day, I think this world would be a lot better.
It would involve a lot of patience. It would involve a lot of trust in the Lord when we don't get our way. But that slowing down process for someone else, it'll pay dividends.
Well, I mean, you think about it. If you went on a habit of saying, okay, every day I'm going to help somebody, today I'm going to help somebody, you'd be on a mission to fulfill that. If it really meant something to you and you were passionate about it, you would probably not want to end the day without fulfilling that goal. Like, you would almost be watching for oh, you need help?
Yeah.
Hey, what can I do for you? Hey,
That's good.
you know?
That's good. Yeah, that literally would, what that would do is, if you did that, would create a sensitivity. And that's exactly what the Holy Spirit's been wanting to do ever since he partnered with us when we made a profession of faith, was, will you be sensitive to me helping you like I helped Jesus? Yeah. And you saw what happened when Jesus and I partnered together. He said, greater things you will do with me.
Well, you would be quite the opportunist. You know, you would be thinking of creative ways. You'd be maybe wanting to help the people that you're working with. Like, oh, this will be easy. I hadn't completed my task today. Is there anything I can help you with, Mr. Coworker? Do you have all your reports done? Is there a spreadsheet I can do? Are you sure? You got it? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, babe, you call your wife and say, hey, babe, is there anything I could do for you today? She'd probably, first of all, think something's wrong. You know, like you've went out and did something you shouldn't have.
Well, there's always a grocery list. If you were to call and say, now, baby, what is it that I'm supposed to pick up, or what do I need to pick up? Well, boy, they'll just be so happy that you remembered, and they'll they'll get all happy. I'll tell you, I was coming home last night late and was on the bike, just before it got really dark, there was two vehicles on the side of the road and hazard lights on. And here's this precious lady with her hands folded, looking down and watching this man change her left front tire. And I was just thinking, that guy was so awesome to stop and show a kindness, a goodness, you know.
If he was looking for something to do, he hit the jackpot.
He hit the jackpot. Ain't nobody gonna need
You'd be like, oh, there's a flat tire.
Yeah, a lot of us do not even want to touch a flat tire. Then somebody pulls up and does that it just goes all over you. You're so grateful. But I could just tell that this person was dependent on that person at that moment, doing something for someone they could not do for themselves. That's awesome.
I was pulled over. I had a pothole, and anyway, they gave me a flat tire. I pulled over, and I called AAA. You know, and I had AAA was going to come out and change my tire and everything like that. And the only reason I really did it is because I've been paying AAA for 3 years. I figured they should change my tire.
I need a flat now, just to prove them.
So I was waiting for AAA, and all of a sudden this guy pulls up behind me. He comes up to my window. He says, "You got a flat tire?" You just stay right there. I'm going to take care of it for you. And I was like, okay, finally they got here. And so he asked me, he did ask me to get out of my car actually, but he went ahead and jacked it all up and everything, changed the tire. I didn't lift a finger. He just knocked it out.
Wow.
Like a true professional. And
Wow.
he puts the jack up and everything like that. And I said, do I owe you anything? He said, oh, no. No, I'm just a good Samaritan. Just wanted to help you out. I said, aren't you with AAA? He said, no, I just saw you had a flat.
What?
So,
James, no way.
Then I felt bad because I just didn't.
Now I'm going to pay this guy.
Well, I just let him do it without even trying to hold a lug nut. But for some reason, that guy was so happy to help. I couldn't believe that he just stopped.
Wow.
And instructed me not to do anything.
That's crazy.
And then he left and boof, like a puff of smoke.
That had to be an angel.
Had to be.
Good night.
But it was like he was looking for flat tires.
Wow.
But it made me just feel like, definitely gave me faith in humanity and that there's some good people out there. And
what if he was on a mission to do something by yielding to the Holy Spirit and saying, Lord, I want to make an impact on someone's life today. And I don't want them to get no credit. I want you to get credit. I don't want no credit. So sit in the car, get out of the car, don't do nothing, don't touch nothing. That's wild.
Yeah, he had one of those, good jacks that like the pump jacks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't have any of that stuff. But thinking about it, where you're, I called, I usually, after we end this broadcast here, I'll call my wife on the way home and I'll say, hey babe, do you want anything before I get home? And she always says no. Okay. About 99 times out of 100. So at the last one, I didn't even bother to call her. I only lived 10 minutes from here, so I just was just going to, I'd be home by the time I could call her, really. And I get in the house, and she looks at me, and she goes, so you're not going to call me and ask me if I need anything? And I said, well, I'm sorry, babe. I'm so sorry. And she goes, well, I really needed you to get something. So here's the point. If it's always on my mind and I've always made it a habit, even if it doesn't pan out and you ask somebody 100 times, you don't just give up and say, you know what? They always say no. They're not going to want anything. That one time you could really come through. You can't ever take it for granted that a person just doesn't need anything or doesn't need any help. So I'm just saying, you just got to be consistent with it, especially with your spouse or your children, the people that you're really close to and that they depend on you. It never hurts to just say, hey, I'll be home in a minute. Do you need something? And then just let that pour over into, other people in your life, like strangers and coworkers. I cannot tell you how many times that there was some little insignificant help that I gave somebody that did not change the trajectory of that person's schedule that day, maybe, or even more significant, it maybe changed their life because of an interaction we had, and one circumstance caused another circumstance to happen. God is really interesting at how he connects little intricate times. And
That's right.
Sometimes the smallest little ask of offering to do something for somebody could turn into, how did you know I needed help?
That's good.
I didn't. I just thought I would ask. Yeah, but you don't know how close I was to the end here. And you calling me when you did and asked me if I needed help, that was the very proof I needed God existed. Or something wild like that.
Oh, yeah.
I've heard so many stories like that. And a lot of times I think back and I'm like, man, I was that close to missing it. I mean, what if I had another phone call come in, or a car pulled out in front of me, or distracted some way and I didn't make that connection, and then all this chain of events didn't happen? I mean, but it's those little things that make a big difference.
Well, it goes back to two things: proximity and sensitivity. Since we were not meant to walk this journey of faith alone without Holy Spirit, how important it is to make sure we are partnering with Him and really making ourselves available, not knowing that whatever He wants us to interact or do is a part of our prayers being answered as well. So you see, it's us partnering with the Holy Spirit, partnering through being sensitive and being available. We don't know that the people that we're running into are just looking for a word. They're looking for something that will be said. That's why it's so important not to be so close-minded throughout your day, where you're in protective mode, you're in survival mode. I'm not saying anything to anybody. I'm not talking to anyone. I was talking to a guy earlier today, and the first thing he said, I wasn't talking to him. I showed up on the lot and I walked out there to greet him. And first thing I did was compliment the color of his truck. It was not white. It was wonderful. And actually it was orange and like a metallic. And so I just gave him a compliment. And then I walked up to him and he goes, "Brian, it's you." Well, just because he said it's you doesn't mean I know it's him. And I looked down at his shirt and I saw the business that he represented. And my mind was racing trying to think of his first name. But the first thing right after he was talking to me, he stopped and said, "Hey, I'm sorry we haven't talked in almost a year. I come in here and I never got back with you. I never told you I was going to get back with you. I went ahead and did something else. Man, I hope you're good." I said, "Man, I promise you, it was just an honor to see you last time." And he said, "Man, I love that. I love that." He didn't get any, he wasn't in trouble. He felt comfortable. But he said, I'm going to get with my CPA. I've got to get something for this quarter. So my point is, people are watching you and they're wanting to see how you're going to make them feel. If they feel loved, they feel cared for, they feel identified and respected, there's not anything they won't open their heart up to accept. But so many people are just looking for someone to love them right where they are without any reservation and be optimistic and not come across, but almost trusting. That goes so far. And that was what Jesus did. He was so moved with compassion on the crowd. I want to know that when I wake up in the morning and I start my day, I want people to feel the compassion.
Well, what were we at yesterday? A going away party for a dear friend of ours. And one of the ladies, he pastors a church there, and one of the ladies of his congregation, elderly lady who was a widow and lost her husband. And the pastor, at the point in time that the husband passed, he was in Michigan. We're in Arkansas. So it's a little ways up north. She called him, and he learned that the husband had passed, and the funeral was in a few days, and he was going to be in Michigan.
Oh, yes.
Remember that?
Yes, that's awesome.
And she goes, "Listen, there's no way in the world I want you to come down here. It's going to be okay. I just wanted to let you know what had happened." And so she didn't think nothing of it, just told him not to come. "I love you anyway. I know where your heart's at." And so at the visitation, the pastor walks through the door, And she's sobbing up there telling the story. And she said, out of all the memories she has, she said that meant more to her than anything else in the whole world, was him taking the time to drive all night long to come down there and just be present. That's going to stick with her forever.
People may forget what you've said over a period of time, but you've heard this said, they won't forget how you made them feel every time.
That's good.
So that is the heart of the Father, to feel love, the character of Jesus, to feel valued, and then to experience and taste what it feels like to be loved.
So take time and help somebody.
That's good. Until next time, James.
We hope this episode of the Called to Love podcast has enriched your life and offered valuable principles to apply on your personal journey. Please explore our website at www.calledto.love for more information and to share your feedback with us. Until our next episode, may you find peace and love. And always remember, you are called to love.